Terrible.
Welcome to the original podcast. I'm your host, DJ Double OG. As always, man, to the side of me, we got the one and only Are You Serious in the building. And this week, man, we got a super special guest in the building representing the North Star Podcast, the number one podcaster in Minnesota. And yesterday, he flexed on us with the numbers to back it up. The one and only Simba Ali in the building.
What's going on, everybody?
What's up? So we just getting started, Jones, man. This is Simba Ali. I don't know if you remember or know Simba Ali. He's the host of the North Star Podcast, number one podcast in Minnesota. But more than just the number one podcast. Yesterday you posted on your Instagram, and we got your Instagram going on the bottom here. You posted that you really doing numbers with this pod game, man. So let me ask you straight off top, how long you been doing this podcasting thing? Because it ain't just an overnight thing, right?
Nah, I've been doing this shit since 2016. Went on these brothers podcast called Local Celebrity with DZ, and I forgot the other brother's name, but I was sitting around looking at these niggas. I'm like, man, people are listening to y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, it's like, yeah, man, this is the new shit. Podcasting is the new shit. And then he gave me some podcasts to look at, which was Drink Champs, Joe Budden podcast, Charlemagne's Brilliant Idiots. And he was like, check this shit out. This is what's happening. And then I started to study it. And I'm like, man, I can do this shit. This is what I used to do all the time. I'm always been a kind of motherfucker that likes to talk and crack jokes. And when I come places, people kind of gather around me and I can talk about anything. You talk about sports. Oh, nigga, you can talk about that. We can talk about rap. We can talk about politics. Or you want to talk about aliens? You want to talk about history? You want to talk about bitches? You want to talk about pimping? You want to talk about selling dope? Like, I can talk about everything. So I was like, somebody was like, man, you should do a podcast. Actually, DZ told me on the show, he's like, bro, you need to do a podcast. So that's when the journey started. I started the podcast with my uncles in 2016. And then they didn't understand it. They was kind of like, I didn't understand how much you have to do it. You got to post. It's an everyday thing. So then I moved on to the one you was talking about with B Roller. And me and him wasn't really doing a podcast together. I was just recording at his house. He would be playing video games and I would just be doing my thing and, using his because he had the recording equipment in his house. So, and then sometimes the topics would come up that he would like and he would chime in or whatever. But I was just doing it kind of at his house then. And again, like I said, he wasn't really, taking it serious. I was trying to pull him in. He wasn't coming in. So I was like, you know what? I'm finna just fucking buy my own equipment and do it myself. And then that's when the real kickoff started, when I started to get people like Charleston White and really start to really put it out there to everybody else, coming up with segments and, logos and all this other kind of stuff. So it's almost like a three-phase podcast. I started with my uncles, tried to do it with B Roller, and then figured out I'm just going to do it by myself and that's kind of the season we're on now. We're on season 3. So yeah, man, it's been fun. It's been a long journey, but I've learned a lot. And I've had a fun time doing it.
But what I wanted to ask you was where you got the name North Star Podcast from.
Oh, I got the name North Star because that's the name of the first black newspaper. So Frederick Douglass's newspaper was called the North Star. So, and plus the North Star is what the slaves used to get out of slavery. If you didn't know how to get to the North, you just follow the North Star. So I'd like to think of my podcast as the North Star for niggas that's still in slavery mentally. You still think you on the fucking plantation, nigga. You don't know, nigga, get your ass free, nigga. So listen to my podcast and stop thinking of yourself as a goddamn cotton picking nigga and get free up out this bitch, nigga. It's a new day, new age. Slaves is going up north. You still picking cotton, nigga. You ain't heard Harriet Tubman. You ain't heard the Sojourner. You don't know motherfuckers is going up north and getting they free. You just gonna stay on the plantation and think ain't no better life. Follow the goddamn North Star. So that's what my podcast is a way to get niggas to break the shackles that's been put on their minds by white folks, but it's been kept on their minds by niggas.
I feel that for real though. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I thought it might have had to do with the hockey team, but I guess not.
I did too.
You know what? That was my favorite jersey growing up. It did. It was that a little bit too. I used to love the Minnesota North Star jersey. I thought that shit was so cold. So it's 3. It's a 3 thing.
Okay. Yeah, the North Star jersey happened to be one of the greatest. That's true. Let me ask you this question right here, right? It's hard when somebody sees you and they don't really know you, right? So I want to go back so people can, our listeners, people who listen to our podcast, all 7 of them, 8 of them consistently. Shout out to y'all. If y'all need something from the store after the podcast, call me. I got you. But to our listeners that do listen, um, you didn't start off in the entertainment industry as a podcaster, right?
Right.
You started off, from what I know, as a rapper. So that's what I met you. Like, I met you as Monk. I used to come to the studio with B Roller. You was in the studio, and I remember BC. I remember what's dude's names? He's so called Fat D. Is that Mike Titan
Fat
cousin?
D, yeah, yep. Fat D,
Yep.
yep.
So we just had
Iceberg Entertainment.
Iceberg Entertainment, yeah. So we just had Mike Titan on the podcast a couple of days ago. Shout out to Mike Titan. He the homie for life. But yeah, that's where I started meeting you from, right? So I want to know what got you into rapping, and at what age did you start?
Oh shit, man! I rapping, damn. When I started battle rapping at South High my freshman year at the lunch table. So I want to say like maybe 16, maybe even before that. Quincy Blue wanted us to be a rap group at an early age. He had an idea that we was gonna be the Minnesota version of Mobb Deep. I was lighter than he was, so I would represent Prodigy, and he was gonna be Havoc. So he always groomed me into this shit because I've always been kind of this extrovert, kind of creative type nigga. And he was like, yo, man, you need to learn how to rap. So he sent me home with the Black Moon instrumental, and had me write my first 16, and he showed me how to rap and all this kind of stuff. And eventually we formulated into what is called Streetkingz. Streetkingz was originally me, Mike Titan, Quincy, and Collie, years. But even before that, we was fucking with Cancer, So it was me, Quincy, Atoro, Zach, Mesh, and Unicus, and we started a group called Cancer. That was kind of the big brother to what goes on to be Rhyme Sayers and that interlock movement. They kind of went and kind of started that. So yeah, man, I've been doing this shit for a long time. I fell in love with rap at an early age once, my friend B.C introduced me to it. And it kind of culminated into what everybody knows as Streetkingz, with me, Brinks, known as Twig, DB, Jazzy Wells, Mr. Neil. That was kind of what everybody known, because we brought T.I. here to Myth, and that's kind of what everybody knows me. But before that, I was kind of making my bones. I did 2 solo albums, rather 3 solo albums. I did My Dopes, My Music. I did About Face, and then I did a Writer's Block. And so I was kind of making my bones doing that, which prepared me for what would come with Streetkingz and all of that. Then we eventually did the Big Mike mixtape and kind of put it on a bigger stage. So yeah, man, my musical journey is long and deep in Minnesota. And it almost kind of prepared me for podcasting, because it helped me kind of be comfortable talking and speaking and having my thoughts come from my heart to my brain and out of my mouth. So my last album I did was called Don't Quit Your Daydream. And it was me talking. It was almost like a podcast rap album. Like I was doing a whole lot of talking and stuff through it. So that album after that album, I was like, I'm getting kind of, music isn't as fun. Rest in peace, Quincy had been murdered. Brinks and DB went to prison, and the kind of group kind of splintered off. So I kind of lost my mojo with rapping, but I still needed to be creative. But yeah, man, as far as music, I got a nice, rich history here, because I remember when it wasn't no music here. I remember when there was no hip hop being done here at all. Everybody had the DMG poster on the wall, Rigor Mortis. That was as close as we got, nigga. He got signed to Rap a Lot. There was no artist. So I remember it from that to Quincy Blue, like I said, saying we gonna be the first, cats to come out as a rap group, and so on and so on. So yeah, man, it's been a long journey for me, man, but it's been fun. I've learned a lot.
I would say for the Minneapolis side, you was holding it down, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because right, from coming from St. Paul, we had our own music scene, right? I'm from St. Paul. We all looked at you like the truth. You understand what I'm saying? Like when it came to this rap shit, once I got introduced to IE, all I
Mm-hmm.
knew was Shotty Boo coming from St. Paul. And then once I heard about this dude named Monk, it was over with. IE came up, and then the Streetkingz made the biggest buzz Minnesota has ever had for a black rap group, period. And I don't think there's been another black rap group since Streetkingz that's had the impact or the imprint that Streetkingz had. Like everybody still remember the Vans. You know what I'm saying? Like I was in the studio with you niggas and wouldn't talk to you niggas because y'all niggas was them niggas. You understand what I'm saying? Like you had to respect y'all niggas. Like
Yeah.
because when we looked at you niggas, y'all was like the shit. Like before Streetkingz, Monk was just the shit by himself. I don't know. I'm just giving you your flowers, and you can tell me if I'm wrong or not. But you literally knowing what you know and thinking about everything that you went through, you really responsible for a whole period of time where Minnesota music glowed and you was the lead star. You know what I'm saying? How does that have, do you ever sit back and think about that era and what you did and what you started? And do you feel like niggas give you the proper respect that you deserve as far as the Minnesota music scene?
No, I don't think people give me the proper respect, but sometimes I don't think about it because to go back and think about that causes a lot of pain in my life because we didn't make it to where we are supposed to. So sometimes I like blank that part of my life out so I don't sit in the corner and drink myself into depression, thinking about how close I came to the doorstep and didn't get to see inside the house. But to be honest, to be 100% honest, what you saw from me was kind of the creation of Quincy. Quincy, I didn't know anything about hip hop. I was a comic book, type of Quincy showed me what hip hop was and molded me into what hip hop was. Now, my natural talent, which is to be able to memorize rhymes and come up with really witty lines and shit like that, that's all me. But when you talk about my contributions to music, it would have to be shared with Quincy. I couldn't take it on my own because if you take Quincy away from me, I wouldn't know what hip hop was. He showed me everything about hip hop, like how to dress, how to walk, how to talk. He would constantly be showing me DVDs and bringing me in. We sit in his room and listen to all different type of Tribe Called Quest to Domino to Boogie Monsters, and he really walked me through the school. So just like how Malcolm X would have to give credit to maybe Elijah Muhammad, or you got to give credit to the person who showed you. Of course, I took the baton and ran with it, but without Quincy Blue, B.C showing me and grooming me into this. And the reason why people know me more is because Quincy took a step back. Quincy normally was supposed to be the first one. But then when he seen how people received me, what you're talking about, he didn't get jealous and start getting in his feelings and shit. He was like, "Oh no," he pushed me. You're it. You get to the front. Because Quincy had history in the making recorded before I had my dopes, my music recorded. Quincy had his shit recorded. He just took a step back and started to push me and say, "Man, people are really receiving you." You know what I'm saying? Get out there, Monk. So yes, I don't. To answer your question, I don't feel like people give me the proper credit, or I would say us. They don't give me and Quincy proper credit. I think they give Quincy a little bit more credit because he's not here with us. So, but I feel like what we contributed doesn't get spoken about enough from the generations of people who I know were around. There's some like these new cats who are like, well, y'all, I don't even remember y'all. Y'all wasn't around when we was doing it. But there's a lot of cats who get on platforms from my generation, and I don't feel like they throw them flowers out for whatever reason. They might want to give it to Brinks, they might want to give it to Twig, and sometimes they do give it a little bit to Quincy, but I don't feel like people say, this nigga Monk or the guy y'all know is Simba Ali, the podcaster. They don't do it, but it's fine. It's okay.
Since we on the subject, let me get one BC story that maybe other people don't know about or you ain't talked about or you know what I'm saying? Tell people something about BC that maybe you ain't never told before. Do you got any BC stories that maybe you can
Man,
tell?
I got so many BC stories. Nigga, one time me and Quincy, when we was on the road, this is right when Mike Jones was just coming out. We went to a hotel and it was a bunch of bitches walking around with who is Mike Jones? It was like 30 bitches, 30 thick, bad, down south bitches. And they all had, who is Mike Jones? Who is Mike Jones? Who is Mike Jones? And I remember that nigga Quincy looking at me, who the fuck is Mike Jones? You know what I'm saying? And he was on a panel up there talking and shit. And this is before Tipping on Four Foes came out. We was down south in Texas before the jump off happened. So nigga, we uh we down south, you know what I'm saying? We in Texas. And of course, Mike Jones is on the panel talking and shit. And Quincy was like, man, he always wanted, whenever we would go to these events, Quincy would always wake me up to go to like the fucking workshop. I'm like, you man, I just want to do the rapping shit. Nah, nigga, you gotta wake up 9 o'clock. We need to go sit and listen to these guys talk so we can learn how to run this shit as a business. Quincy was always business minded too. Quincy had a big, big, big vision. I was a lot of the talent. That's why I say I picked up a lot of what I know now and what I'm utilizing now as far as business from Quincy and Twig. Those are the two people that I got to watch who were able to materialize and turn it into business. But anyway, so I want to get my weed. So I'm like, come on, man, I need to go get some weed. So me and Quincy's like, fuck, man, all right. So we go, we get in the cab, we riding around Texas in this fucking country part of Texas. We on a bus. And I'm doing this to every nigga I know that look like he might have some weed. I'm like, nigga, you got some weed? You got, and Quincy's just, fuck, because Quincy don't smoke. But he's riding with me. He's riding with his partner. So finally, this little nigga, he's like, yeah, I got some weed. I'm like, cool. You know what I'm saying? He's like, just get off on the next stop with me. So I'm like, all right, you know. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm fiending. I'm in fiend mode. I'm out of town. I ain't smoking no weed. I need to find some weed. Quincy the whole time is shaking his head. So we get off on the stop with this little nigga, and we're walking. We're walking over train tracks. We're walking through rural towns where it's black folks on the porch that look like they're 100 years old. They all looking at us. We're like, oh shit. So finally, we jumping over these train tracks. Boom, boom. We jumping, and the nigga jumps, and his pistol, a gun comes out of the nigga's waistband, falls on the ground. Now this is it's just me, Quincy, and this nigga with a gun. And he turns around and looks, and Quincy's looking like, oh shit. And the nigga grabs the gun and picks it up. He's like, oh no, this ain't for y'all, man. This is just to keep niggas off me. You know what I'm saying? Quincy's like, let's fucking go back. I'm feeling, no, come on, let's keep going. So we end up going to this apartment. I go in, Quincy sitting on the couch, this nigga's bagging up weed. The whole time, Quincy is just not rubbing his head. Quincy's just rubbing his head. So I get my weed, we leave. This is the first time Quincy has ever yelled at me. He never in life had yelled at me. Quincy would always say, he would always talk to me cool. And, you know, I've known Quincy since I was 8 years old. He's never, ever got mad at me for shit. As soon as we leave the house, this nigga goes off. Man, you fucking junkie, man. You're a fucking junkie, man. You're a junkie, man. We almost lost our fucking lives, man. We're here for fucking music, man. Not your goddamn weed habit, man. Don't you ever have me do no shit like that again, nigga. I'm just like, oh, damn. But then looking back, I'm like, damn, that shit could have went left. You know what I'm saying? I was on some junkie shit. I was just on some, I need some weed shit. So that was the story. And then so we go back to the hotel where Mike Jones and him is at. We finish the whole show. We come back to Minnesota, and the first video we hear, first song on the radio, as soon as we touch down, we ain't even in our house yet. And we hear still tipping on from wrapped in fofo. And then Quinn's like, nigga, that's the niggas. And then the song just fucking took off. So to see that happen like that, that was crazy for us to be down there before it happened, almost get murdered over weed, and come back home. And Still Tipping was fucking taking over the radio. And that kind of showed me how it happened. Like, I was like, oh, marketing. You know what I'm saying? The nigga had the 30 bitches. He had the 30 bitches with the Mike Jones. Who is Mike Jones? And he used that. Who is Mike Jones? Who is Mike Jones? So that, and then like I said, sitting in that workshop with Quincy. So that whole experience was an experience that me and Quincy got to share together that we would always talk about. Whenever Mike Jones' name whenever Mike Jones came up and Quincy was around me, he would always look at me and say, man, like, we almost lost our lives. Stop bringing up old shit. You know what I'm saying? So that was one of them. Me and Q have a lot of of experiences like that, man, with this music shit. But that was just one of them.
That's so dope. All right, last one. Top 5 Minnesota rappers.
Mr. Mayhem.
Easy Call. That's how he'll say. He'll be like, Easy Call. Mayhem. Shout out to that boy Mayhem.
Mayhem. Yeah. I like John Ray. I personally like John Ray. John Ray's, I think it might have been somebody that was messing with his sister, something. This was way back in the days before anybody knew who John Ray was. I brought John Ray to Mr. Neil, like, man, you need to listen to this shit. He was rapping over the beat. I'm riding around and I'm getting it. That was the beat he was rapping to. He was just freestyling over that. And I was like, man, this nigga got it. So I like John Ray, Mr. Mayhem. Who else? Spitters from like all time forever. Like
Minnesota.
4 to 6 days later.
Shit. Damn. Who is? I gotta say
4 to 6 more days later.
Yeah, Jean Grey.
Okay.
As far as female.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Dun, 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 dun.
But
Like you said,
You can say Dollar. It's cool. It's cool. You can say Dollar.
yeah, but Dollar, put Dollar up in there, man. Put Dollar up in that thing, man.
No, nigga ain't know
about Minnesota Fats.
Yeah, shout out to the boy Fats.
Hell no, nigga.
Uh-oh. You gonna invite Ryan in there?
Nah, man.
No?
There's really not that good. I don't know if there are 5 rappers that are top. You know, I can just name some niggas, but top means important, nigga. Like when I hear Mr. Mayhem, it don't have to be a Minnesota thing. This nigga's tight. He just happens to be from Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of guys, it's like, oh, am I just saying that to try to put you on, to help you, to put your name out there? But no, I wouldn't ride around listening to you. And maybe I'm drawing a blank, but I just don't. I just don't think Minnesota has too many good artists. There's not that many good artists that are from here, to me. I think that there's a lot of people that are trying to regurgitate other sounds. There's not a natural Minnesota sound where it's like, this is us. You know what I mean? It's always like, oh, well, fam, I could listen to Drake. You know, you could say Jay Plaza, but nigga, I guess. Yeah. Like, I don't know, man. It's tough here, man. I'm not a fan of the music scene here. I'm really not.
I am not, bro.
Scotty, you know, a lot of the best artists, Idea was one that could spit, you know what I'm saying? So we had a couple ones where I was like, damn, fam is nice, but you know, it's tough with me. It's tough with me, man.
This week we got the one and only Simba Ali in the building. Make sure you follow him online. Find the North Star Podcast and subscribe. It's not that hard. Let's go.
Damn, this nigga got a whole game show and shit, man. Y'all I'm bogus for leaving you out of any podcast talk, man. This nigga got a whole fucking game show, nigga.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you know, hey, listen, we new to the game. We ain't that many deep in, and you know, I'm very like I heard you say this on the live on Lake Street, and I felt it when you said it. Like you was like he kind of got smart when he said the shit too. And I don't really want to talk too much about that interview, but he got smart when he said the shit. He was like, well, you know, why don't I see you on my timeline when I'm scrolling? I don't see you on my timeline. And you was like, I'm inconsistent. I'm going to just be real with you. And I understand that because niggas got real life shit. Like, y'all got a machine, so you know what I'm saying? That's all y'all do, I understand. But when it's just you, it's hard to sit back and edit and then promote and then post and then chop it up 1 minute, 2 minutes. It become a lot when it's a one-man band. So I understand how easy it is to be inconsistent, you know what I'm saying, in posting, but that don't mean you better than me. Just because you post more than me, that don't mean, you know what I'm saying, that don't mean you better than me because you post more than me. All right, listen, it's the Original Podcast. We playing the Jeopardy game, man. We got 5 topics, 5 categories. We got Black history, as always, TV dads of the 90s. We got 4-letter words. We got sports. We got trending topics. Shout out to Shay Shay. What's up, Butterball? She tapping in on Facebook. All right, let's get to it. Because you are our guest, Simba Ali, man, you get to pick the first category.
Yeah, tell them how it worked.
Oh, my bad. You right. Are you serious? Thank you. All right, this is how it goes. So you pick a category. I'm going to read the question. You just shout out your answer. Now, however you shout out is how you shout out. So some people like to caw. D Jones, he likes to
Like
twerk.
buzz in.
Yeah. So however you buzz in, you just make a noise, and that's your buzz in. And then I'm gonna call your name. You get a chance to answer. Just like Jeopardy. Whoever buzzes in first get a chance to answer. If you don't answer, you don't lose no points. If you answer wrong, you lose those points. And if you answer right, you get the points.
Okay.
All right. So you first up. Hey, hold on. Let me get my other son together. What category?
Black History, 600.
Yeah, all right. Black History for 600. Born August 17th, 1887 in Jamaica, the separatist leader was the founder of the
Hello.
Who is it?
Who is Marcus Garvey?
Frederick Douglass Academy.
Marcus Garvey.
Marcus Garvey.
Shout out to Dr. Umar.
Hey, shout out to the boy Marcus Garvey, man. I didn't know a lot of information about him. And listen, Simba, just to sometimes the questions might not be there as a real question. Maybe it's just the time that I teach. You know what I'm saying? So I like to reach while I teach. So especially when it comes to Black history, I like to give people a little bit of knowledge of him. He was born in Jamaica. He died in England, but he was the founder of the Back to Africa movement, which was crazy because the nigga never stepped foot on Africa's surface or toy. Like Marcus Garvey was a great leader, but his story is crazy. So if anybody get a chance to look into Marcus Garvey and read his story about how he come from, you can even Wikipedia the nigga, and you'll be interested in learning more about Marcus Garvey. All right, where we going next?
I get to keep going?
Yes, sir.
Oh, Black History 200.
Two of them things.
The official 2023 theme for Black History Month.
Hello.
What is it?
Black Renaissance. B.
Black Renaissance is wrong.
What?
Anybody want
I guess ding. I'm gonna go with C.
Black Restitution is wrong. Anybody else want to guess? No, nobody else said guess.
Black Resistance.
Black Resistance.
Who?
I
That's what I was
didn't
gonna
know
ask.
Black History 2023.
Who said it was official? Like, who was this official nigga that said I'm the official black nigga?
The White House. The White House.
You just said the White House was telling us the official Black History theme.
Yes, nigga.
Is that what we just did?
I did not know this, but you
Is that what we just did?
Google it. Every year, the United States of America government has an official theme for Black History Month.
Nigga, they killed most of Black History.
Niggas don't recognize that, though.
Yeah.
Niggas ain't recognizing that.
I thought it was a Renaissance because Beyonce's concert's coming out. I thought that's what it was.
Black Resistance. Nigga, I could Google this shit right now.
You can Google it. I thought it was Black Renaissance because
resisting in 2023, and I know restitution. They definitely ain't trying to pay us shit in 2023. So I said, Renaissance sounds like excellence. It's a lot of Black excellence going on. I'm gonna go with that.
well, yeah, you got Beyonce's concert this year. It's called Renaissance. So I mean, that's what that makes the most
We
sense.
believe you know, Dollar. We know. You know. You the hoe.
Y'all ready? Where we going next?
It's still on you.
It's on me still.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let's go TV 90s dads for 400, Alex.
TV 90 dad.
From the 90s for 400. The Tool Man and the Dope Man.
Ding, ding, ding.
Are you serious?
Tim the Tool Man, Alan Taylor, because he sold much crack in them streets, and that's how he went to jail. He got caught with a pack.
Yes. Tim, the Tool Man Taylor. Tim Taylor was definitely a drug dealer.
Yeah, he went to prison for what? What was it like? How much coke? It was a bunch. It was a lot. Yeah, he had a little thing going.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I gotta Google it. Tim Taylor, Tim Allen, drug dealer.
Yep.
All right, where we going next?
I'll say sports for 400. Negro host.
Sports for 400. Melvin Gordon, Broncos' recent running back, was a part of what squad that wins Super Bowl rings this year, but actually never played in the Super Bowl?
Hello.
I'm confused.
Simba.
Wasn't he part of the Eagles?
No.
I don't understand the format of the question.
I know.
I feel like this needs to go through Grammarly.
It's a setup. Melvin Gordon, he just played for the Broncos, but he don't play for them no more. And he was a part of what squad that wins Super Bowl rings, which means he was on
ding, 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 ding.
But he never played in the Super Bowl.
Ding, ding, ding. I just saw that little clip where he was like, I got carried.
Yeah.
Oh,
I got carried. It was the Chiefs, right?
Yeah, but he was on the practice squad.
Yeah. Okay.
What squad? I don't know. All right, I ain't taking nobody points. Sometimes these questions dumb, nigga. Just go with it. All right, what we going next?
Talking about, are you serious? Now I get it.
Yeah.
Now I get it. Are you serious?
You got to be in his mind at that time.
Hey, hold on. Wait a minute.
Let's go sports for 200. Hopefully that's a little easier.
200 sports.
Mm-hmm.
Hall of Famer Shannon Sharp was on the court last week trying to fight what team?
Oh, hello.
Who called in?
I did. Did you get that, D. Jones?
Right,
D.
Jones, you go ahead, D. Jones.
No, go.
I didn't see you twerk, so I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? You said D or some shit. Last week you was twerking, so I wasn't sure.
I got it.
It was a couple weeks ago. What team?
Oh, shit. Memphis Grizzlies.
Yes, sir. That was an easy one. The Memphis Grizzlies. He was out there trying to fight the whole squad. All right, Jones, where we going next?
Yo, fuck the Grizzlies, by the way, man. Let's sports for 6.
Sports for 600. NFL playoffs longest active drought belongs to what team?
Ding.
Are you serious?
It have to be the Lions. No. Dang it. That was Detroit.
I'm gonna give Jones a chance because you said Detroit first. All right, Jones.
That was my fault. They just was in the playoffs.
You're right. It is the New York Jets.
Damn.
They have not been to the playoffs.
The butt fumble.
Yeah, 8 years. All right, where we going next?
Let's say sports 8.
Sports for 800. This player holds a record for most dunks in the NBA game.
Dunks in one game?
How about if it's Michael? That's just crazy. One of the worst numbers ever.
Hell no.
That nigga was terrible.
As you can see, all these
players have the top 10 dunks of all times.
One. Simba?
Kevin Garnett.
Would be wrong.
Damn it.
800. 5, 4, 3, 1. You'll be wrong too. It is
Rudy.
I know he's the number one. I think he's number one of all time. Having the most dunks. I know he's top 10. I can't remember who's number one.
This nigga had 27 dunks in one game. Rudy, go bigger.
Because you got to have somebody that has a lot of points in one game. And I knew it wasn't Ola Candy, but I thought maybe I missed one game.
All right, since everybody got
Jones.
We go back to Jones. Where you want to go, brother?
TV Dash for 200.
TV Dash for 200. First things first. Rest in peace. Are you serious?
Uncle Phil. For real.
Great.
I don't know what she said.
Hey, if you guys ever get a chance, we're not going to play this right now, but J. Cole, Role Models on YouTube, super dope performance. If y'all ever get a chance, make sure y'all check it out. Uncle Phil is correct. Are you serious? Let me get your point.
Uncle Phil. For real.
Real. Where we going
Let's
next?
go with I don't even know what this is, but 4-letter words for 200.
From the Greek word for deep sleep, it's a deep, prolonged unconsciousness. This for you smart niggas. That's what this category is for. You smart niggas.
Deep word, deep sleep.
It's a 4-letter word. Deep, prolonged, unconscious.
Is that spelled with 4 words? I mean, letters? Yeah, let's go ding. Let's go. Fuck it.
Jones?
I'm gonna go rim.
Rim would be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coma. Coma.
That is right. Let's try that again for 400 then. Because
4-letter words for 400. Santa Claus rides this, but Beyonce does this all day, every. Simba Ali.
Slay.
Slay is. Oh, wait. Slay is correct. Slay
that's a
right.
good one.
is
That was a good
correct.
one.
Playing with them $3,000 fucking tickets.
Yeah. She charging a house note to come see her.
No, you
That's
can go for 200.
Oh, you kidding?
Can you?
Hey, I stay on Section 8. That's a house note notice.
Yeah, hell
That's 3 years rent right there. What you talking about? That's
All right, I
on
gotta
you.
go back to my area, Black History for 400.
No. All right, Black History 400. Let's go. He was the first black man to ever host a TV show, a legend in the music industry.
Nope.
Arsenio Hall.
No, Arsenio Hall is not
No.
correct. D. Jones.
Let's go with Sidney Poitier.
Sidney Poitier is not correct either. Hold on, wait. D. Jones, you team 3. You team 1. He team 2.
A legend in music industry and a
This
fan
is a-
was
No, it's Nat King Cole.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
nigga. God damn it.
Oh, that's
Nat
correct.
King Cole had a show,
Yeah.
That's what I meant to say.
and it was
And
called
it's
Nat
called-
King Cole.
The Nat King Cole Show.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Damn.
God damn.
Hey, wait. Hold on, wait. Can I say something right though?
Yeah, go ahead.
With me being in the army, I've been diagnosed with like PTSD and stuff. And I think I just had a case of PTSD just come out. You know what I mean? So I accidentally said the wrong word, but what I really meant to say was Nat King Cole. Do you have any medical exceptions? I guess when I'm asking for points.
We're gonna have to go to the 1 second.
No, nigga.
Chris, we giving it. No, okay. Where we going next? Where we going next?
It's
No,
Ali.
we're not.
Y'all need to take the truth. That's what it is.
It's on you.
It's on Jones.
No, Simba.
Oh, it's on Simba.
Simba Ali.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's
I
on
gotta get back in the game. Black History for 1,000.
Black History for 1,000. Lord Mansfield, a ruler and judge in Great Britain, in 1772, in the case, I don't know why I got that accident. In 1772, in the case of Somerset versus Stewart, made what ruling? And I give you niggas a clue. This
Clue.
curriculum is in the 1619 project.
All men are created equal.
Hey, listen, sometimes, like I said, I'm trying to teach while I reach, so you may not know the answer to this. I don't expect anybody to know the answer to this, but he effectively ended chattel slavery in England. And we all know chattel slavery is what they called slavery in America, where you are a slave for your entire life and all of your children are slaves. So in 1772, he ended chattel slavery in England. Now, this information is not from 1619 Project. This information right here is from a book. But he decided that the state of slavery is of such a nature that is incapable of being introduced on any reasons, moral or political. Now, I'm not going to read the rest of it, but I'll break down what happened. So in 1772, there was a slave by the name of Somerset. And this slave had an owner by the name of Stewart. And the owner had brung the slave from America. From first he was in the islands, then America, then he brung him to England. Once the slave got to England, he met some people and he got into religion and he became a Christian and he got baptized. And at that time in England, the English people felt once you get baptized, you're no longer a slave. It makes you a free man instantly. So Somerset said, well, because I was baptized in England and I had these people as my godparents, then now I'm a free man. So he ran away from his slave. The slave called the slave catchers. They caught him 2 months later. Before they put him on the boat. They was finna ship his ass back to the Caribbeans to get sold. Before they shipped him on a boat, 3 people that baptized this black man put a ruling in or a petition to the judge to stop the sale of him and claim that he was free. So the judge ruled that you cannot take a slave from America and bring him to England and he's still a slave.
Gotcha.
Once he's baptized, he's a free man. So what that did in 1772 is effectively ended slavery and it started the ball so that in 1807, England officially ended slavery. But when this happened in 1772, it actually started the ball. And that's why I said it's 1619 Project information, because this is the shit that 1619 Project teaches. Is that it started the ball on the Revolutionary War, and the 1619 Project believes the Revolutionary War mostly started because England effectively ended slave trade between America and England, and the rulers that were in America from Britain wanted to end the slave trade in America, which effectively caused the Revolutionary War was over slavery, not just the Civil War, which is what they'll teach you. So yeah, we became a country to keep slaves.
Message.
We became a country.
So do I get any points for the we all created equal? That was something in there, wasn't it? Something like that.
No. We don't you can't get them points.
Y'all niggas is tripping. All right, where we going next?
It's on you again, Simba. Nobody got it.
Trending topics 200.
Trending topic.
Daily bonus. Where you get your information from determines what information you receive. Everybody get some money, because I knew y'all niggas was going to go broke eventually. But I do want to tell you that.
I was going to say Google.
Yeah. Where you get your information from does determine what information you receive. I just want y'all to be
serious. I see what you mean.
Where you get your information from.
Message.
He said
what information you receive. Hey, if you only listen to Fox News, then you're only going to have Fox News views. If you only listen to NBC, you're only going to, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you listen to, that's what you're going to be thinking. So be careful what you listen to. Where we going, somebody?
TV Dad 600.
TV Dad 600. The father of 3 daughters and a Jones.
What's the dad's name? What's the dad's name?
Oh, Danny Tanner.
Bob Saget, a.k.a.
Thank you, Brad. I got them.
Yeah, you got to say the daddy's name.
Lies. Good shit, boy. Good shit. Where we going, Jones?
Trending top 4.
It's always a dumbass category. Road rage turned into battery charge for what artist this week? But actually, this wasn't this week. I made this game 2-3 weeks ago. So 2 weeks ago, there's a famous artist that got into a road rage, and it was recorded, and now he's wanted for battery.
Oh, hello.
Simba.
What's the nigga's name?
Silk the Shocker?
Come on, man. You just seen the nigga.
See the nigga everywhere. The nigga big. He a big artist. He a big artist.
Iggy Azalea's ex, right?
No.
Oh, what'd you just say, brother?
No, I'm like, kill it. It's over with. It's over with.
Yo.
Kanye West.
I didn't see that.
No. He got a battery charge?
Yes, nigga, they are trying to charge Kanye West with battery for running up on this lady, snatching her phone, and throwing it out the window.
It's not battery, but I mean, shout out to him.
Hey, that's the charge they give you.
Did they get in a car accident?
No,
Hey,
she
y'all.
just keeps following the nigga.
I got to check out because I got to take my son to a basketball tournament. His mom just came in pointing at me.
Oh, shit.
Gotta go.
All right, well, you was going to lose anyway. You had negative 200 points.
Hey, I ain't had no argument. All I was going to do was fuck up for everybody.
Hey, listen, I appreciate you stopping by, Simba Ali, man.
Hey, man, I love this show, man. I come on this motherfucker anytime, man. Let me know. This shit was fun.
You coming by, man. Shit, have a good day, man.
Hey,
We
shout
gonna
out to
hold you
Are You Serious? Shout out to D Jones, man. It was a pleasure.
Man, appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate
Hey,
you.
some of y'all, please win this goddamn game, man. Come on, Are You Serious? Now, you know what this nigga be thinking now. You know what this nigga be thinking.
I'll be trying, but
All right,
we
y'all,
all
man. Salute to y'all, man.
Peace
All
out.
right, peace out. All right, man. I guess we could finish the game if y'all want to real quick, man. It's the original podcast, man. Shout out to
Might as well just finish it up.
shout out to Mike Titan. Shout out to Shay Barber, man. We appreciate y'all. All right. Shit. Where we going?
Trend topic 6.
Trending topic 600. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck?
What? Bing.
Why would I make this question?
Ding.
Now that I think about it, it's kind of witty.
Are you serious? What's the answer?
A woodchuck could chuck wood.
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
The chuck wood with a woodchuck because the chuck woodchuck on the chuck. See?
About 700 pounds.
See, that's what I was gonna say. See?
Compared to beavers,
No,
groundhogs, woodchucks are not adept at moving timber, although
this nigga had a real answer.
chew wood. Yes, nigga, I didn't know that. There is a real answer to that. So if anybody ever says how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a
700
woodchuck
pounds.
could chuck wood, the answer is 700 pounds, according to the College of Veterinary Medicine at Cornell University and the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation and Mammals of the Eastern United States, second edition, written by William Hamilton Jr. and John Whitaker Jr.
So is the rhyme misleading? Because the rhyme is insinuating that woodchuck cannot chuck wood, correct?
Correct, but they can chuck wood.
I would have won none. Okay.
We didn't know that. All right, well, where are we going next?
4 letters. 6.
4-letter words. The crop of a bird or something may get stuck in yours. It is the crop of a bird or something may get stuck in your blank. I think he said it. I'm just gonna give it to him. Correct. Crawl is correct.
Right.
Is correct. All right, where we going next, Dijon?
Let's go sports for 1,000.
Sports for 1,000. According to the Guinness Book World of Records, what NBA player holds the record for most made free?
Ding ding.
Are you serious?
John Stockton.
Free throws is wrong.
I know he has the highest percentage in history.
Yes, but he has not hit the most. But John Stockton is actually an excellent guest. Are you serious? I'm gonna give Jones 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Karl Malone.
Oh, what a terrible person he is.
Yeah.
Holds the record.
He's a terrible person.
You know they got a thing tributing him today.
Who does?
For the NBA.
For what?
For his, because the All-Star game is in Utah.
Oh, no.
So they got a whole little tribute thing, little video that's out right now where they're going to play it. Yeah.
For those who don't know, man, go look up Karl Malone and see a little bit about his history.
He's a 13-year-old,
Hold on, wait.
14-year-old getting
Wasn't
pregnant
his
and
son
stuff.
Demetrius Bell was his son the wide receiver for the Broncos that passed away? Was that Karl Malone's son or was it Demetrius Bell?
Don't give me the line. I don't know.
I know he had a son that was in the league or something like that.
Yeah,
but never talked to him.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, Demetrius Bell. He played for the Eagles and the Bills and the Cowboys.
He did talk also, right?
Nah.
Is that right?
No. Yeah. But that's the one that his
Phil
mom was
Phil. Yeah.
when and he was like a grown ass
He was in
man.
the NBA. He was in college, wasn't he?
Yeah, Buffalo, I think.
Yeah.
Having sex with a 13-year-old. But you know, also
It's
without
raping. You can't have sex with a 13-year-old. You can rape a
but
13-year-old.
now listen, we gotta go back in time.
I don't care what time you go back, brother. Unless it's the
It was more common.
BC. Unless it's BC, I don't want to hear it.
I don't know. It was more common back then to date younger women.
Yes, it was, but it still wasn't right. So unless it was
It was not
BC,
right.
I don't want to hear it. Nobody was like, well, they was kind of back in the farm days where you just get an old man and he just take up the young girl to have the children for the farm. But it still wasn't right.
You're right. It ain't right. You're right. It's not right.
It was predatory activity even back then. They knew what they was doing.
You know, me working with young girls at the Arlington House shelter that are vulnerable, you know, all seriousness, that shit is not cool because
No.
I've seen it in real life where these young girls that are 12 and 13 dressing up looking like 20-year-old women, and they got 25-year-old, 30-year-old boyfriends pulling up, picking them up in the bins and shit. Like, I done seen that shit in real life, and it's sad because, you know, she too young, man. She too impressionable, and that shit happened in real life. So it's fucked up what Karl Malone did, but you know, I thank God that God blessed that woman with a good son. You know what I'm saying? Because he was able to honor his mom and make her proud. You know what I'm saying? And turn something that was probably tragic to her, because I heard that he gave her hush money and some more shit. So you know what I'm saying? Something that was all life altering turned out to be good for her. So sometimes God will take some of the bad and turn it good. Hey, could you sit down? All right, where we going next?
Let's go. Black. Yeah, let's go to that. Hey.
His wife was bad as F, but he never wanted her because she was annoying AF.
Ding, 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 ding.
I knew
Al
it.
Bundy.
Damn sure is.
Al Bundy is correct.
I used to watch that show a lot. I used to watch that show a lot. I don't think I was supposed to, but I did.
Yeah, I watched it. I used to love Al Bundy, man. And Peg was fine to me. She was thick. I don't care what y'all say.
Listen, for every bad chick, there's a dude that's tired of her mess. So he was tired of her. Black History 800.
Black History 800, featured in the movie Woman King. This powerful African country gained independence from France in 1960 and changed its name in 1975 to Benin. Can you name the original country?
Now I know it was the homies.
The homie is correct.
Oh, wow. Shout out. Major shout out.
Homie
Oh,
King.
it was the homie.
Major shout out. That's dope.
Hey, I just watched The Woman King, and I thought that was just a made-up name that they called this place.
Nope.
And then I did research and found out it's really a whole country called Dahomey. And it was really a nation, and these people are responsible for selling a lot of slaves and they would capture their enemies, though. If you watch the Woman King movie,
Yeah.
they got another series out on Netflix called African Queens, which is like more of a biography documentary that goes a little deeper into it.
But that's why I always get irritated when people be like, but black people, the African soul slave. They didn't know there was no such thing as a slavery that they were selling into, and there was no way that they would understand that. When they had the slavery, they was still their own people. They had their own language. They weren't the children of the slaves, weren't slaves,
A lot of
slaves and stuff like that. So they had no clue what they were doing. No clue what they were selling them into.
Yeah, because even if you watch the movie Woman King, it'll explain it a little bit. Like, the slaves that they captured were their enemies, right?
Yeah.
Even then, they treated their captives like good people, and eventually you can either become part of the tribe,
right,
or you can go about your business.
because
It
some of the
wasn't
women in
just
there were captured, and then they
that was
became.
captured and became a part of the thing. So there's no such thing as back then when they was taking these niggas and giving them to the Portuguese, thinking, oh, these niggas is gonna be slaves for hundreds of years. They weren't thinking that. They was thinking these niggas gonna be slaves for 20 years, go over
Maybe not even that.
there. And then once they realized what was going on, then that's when the problem started. But by then it's over with because the Portuguese and the white men, they already got all the guns and ammunition.
It's too
Like,
late.
you ain't stopping shit. It's too late. Now we just gonna capture your ass, nigga. And that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? Prince, sit down.
Let's go with TV dads after that information of dropping the knowledge of the homies. TV dads 4000.
Blank and Carol Lambert met and married after a whirlwind romance in Jamaica. Together, they try to raise a blended family of 6 children and a baby. Things aren't always easy, but they do their best to take things step by step.
I don't know this guy's name.
5, 4, 3. Y'all niggas will never catch his name, but it is Frank and Carol Lambert.
What show is this? Step by step.
You said what?
Step by step.
Man,
Day by
one of
day.
my favorite TV shows back in the day, man.
I don't even remember the show, to be honest with you, but I remember the theme song.
Yeah.
Oh, that weird looking dude. I got
Whether
you.
the good or bad. Yeah, I would play it, but you know,
Yeah, I'm
Facebook
cool.
gonna block my video.
You don't need it. 4-letter words for 800.
4-letter words, 800. The band Aerosmith famously told us what this dude looks like.
Thing.
Jones and the group Temptations taught us how to treat her.
Lady.
Lady is correct.
Dude looks like a lady.
Dude looks like a lady.
Can't say that now.
Dude looks like a lady.
Boy, you be sending all kind of apology letters. Come
Right.
out with that song.
Trending topics. Hey, honey.
This car show host recently had his car show canceled after he had a second car accident.
I think I know.
Car show canceled after his second car accident.
He's recovering right now from his second car accident.
I have no clue. Am I supposed to know this?
He's a pretty big, famous guy.
Okay. I'm not guessing, but okay. Are you closing this?
Yeah, we go ahead.
All right. Let's go. Oh, sure you're right. Didn't he catch on fire or something?
Oh, that's right.
He had a second car accident.
That is right.
All right, where we going next?
4-letter words.
4,000. It's what you say when you mention Las Vegas, or you can use it to clean up on aisle 10.
Bing.
No?
Viva.
Viva! Mi amigo! Bra, 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 bra.
What you can use.
That was a horrible
They got
Spanish.
Viva Cleaner, nigga?
No,
Yeah.
paper towels.
Viva paper towels.
Oh,
Yeah, Viva paper towels.
we got one
All
more.
right. Trending Topics 1,000. He was recently.
The
Jones.
creator of
Pharrell Williams.
Jones is the winner this week. He is the champion. It was Pharrell Williams. This is the since Virgil Abloh has died, they did not name another creative director at Louis Vuitton, and now they have, and they have named Pharrell as creative director.
Shout out to him. God bless his heart.
All right, let's go. My 3-year-old just told me it's time for me to feed him. He's ready to eat. These niggas is loud as fuck in the background. All right, man. I love y'all.